Good morning. Until I get abs, day 124. This morning I woke up at 2:26 even. I'm up a little bit from last week, but it's okay. I'm still down from yesterday, so make the best of it. Again, I'm not training like I normally train at the gym. I'm not saying that has anything to do with it or not. I don't know. But sometimes it happens. Weight loss slows down. Sometimes it speeds up. I mean, for a while I was losing a quarter of a pound a week for 5-6 weeks, and then I changed nothing, and all of a sudden I started dropping 2 to 3 pounds. And now this week it seems like I'm gonna match what I had last week as far as it goes for weight loss. So we're just gonna see what happens. But just because the scale's not moving doesn't mean results aren't happening. It doesn't mean I'm still not making progress. This could just be a fluke. It could be a water weight, water retention. I mean, there's so many things it could be, so I'm not really going to worry about it. A lot of times, just because the weight slows down on the scale, like I said, does not mean that progress isn't being made. It's just you're not seeing it, or it's a different form of progress, or something else is happening that you're unaware of, but your body's going through something, and then normally things pick back up, or there's a shift in the way you look, or whatever. So I'm not going to stress it too much. I'm just going to keep going and see what happens. A couple of things I want to talk about this morning on my walk. Let's see if I can remember all of them. Okay, first off, like I was saying earlier about the weight loss. In the beginning, I was losing 2 to 3 pounds a week. Then eventually it came to a slow to about a quarter pound a week. But even though I was only losing a quarter pound a week, my body was looking significantly different every single week, even though the weight wasn't really moving. And then all of a sudden, my weight jumped to 2 to 3 pounds a week again. And I was losing a massive amount of weight, but I wasn't looking significantly different week to week. I was just looking smaller, not more defined, not more muscular, not bigger, whatever. So just because the scale's moving in large numbers doesn't mean you're making great progress. It just means you're making some kind of progress. So I'm not really worried about what the scale's doing. It's just a form of measurement. So if it slows down, it's fine. Also, with me backing off my training, the other thing I want to talk about is I'm training like every other person does now. I'm doing 3 to 4 sets of each exercise, 3 to 4 sets, 8 to 12 reps, and I'm stopping after my 4th set. So I'm training exactly like everybody else trains. But to me, I feel like I'm half-assing the gym. I feel like I'm not putting in any effort. I feel like I'm just flying through the motions and wasting my time, and I'm not getting nothing out of my gym session, which is crazy because I'm still doing what 99% of what everyone else does that goes to the gym to work out. But to me, it just feels like not enough. The way that I like to train is I like to push myself to the limit, right? Drop sets, supersets, rest pulse, cheat reps, whatever. So for me, backing off is what the majority of people do as their actual normal regular workout. I'm like, oh yeah, I work out hardcore, man, 5 days a week. Well, your hardcore is my warm-ups. So like I literally feel like I'm stopping after my warm-up. I don't even feel like I'm pushing into a set or into a top set. I feel like I'm just doing my warm-up sets, and then that's it. Just my warm-up sets, and then I move to the next exercise. Like, all right, cool, that's warmed up. Let's move to the next exercise and warm up again. And that's how it feels to me. So I feel like I am just leaving so much on the tank. But with that being said, I'm going to finish this week the same way, and then I'm going to do this again next week, and then the following week I'm going to try to add the drop sets and drop sets and rest pause back to the first movement of every lift for 2 weeks, and then the next 2 weeks add it to the second and the first and second movement, and then the next 2 weeks, which would be week 5 and 6, add it to the 3 movements, and then 2 weeks, drop back down to none of them, and see if that type of progressive overload will be beneficial to growth and stimulus. If it doesn't, I'll just keep going without stopping doing the drop sets, right? Because normally I train instinctively. If I'm feeling a little tired, I might do rest pause or drop sets on one movement. If I'm feeling really energetic and healthy, I'll do it on everything. I play by ear. I don't have a specific amount of like drop sets or rest pause I'm going to do. I just do what I'm capable of doing for however long I'm capable of doing it and maintaining a pump. I let my pump and I let my body tell me when it's time to move on to the next thing.
to me, a top set means there also has to be a way down. If you go up one side of a hill, you have to come down the other side. So if I work up to a weight, that means I have to work down from that weight too. Top set, it's a pyramid, right? You go up to the peak, you come down the other side, doing drop sets and rest pause. It makes sense to me. I like it. But I don't know, I might try this 2 weeks thing, but honestly, I'm probably going to get antsy, but I got more in me. I could do more. So while my shoulder is in limbo and I'm waiting for it to heal up, I'm going to train like a normal person for this week and next week. Maybe next week. I might get in there next week and my shoulder feels great, so I might be like, time to get at it. But also, I did more tissue work on it last night. I worked on my pec this time. I worked all along my clavicle here and all in there and broke up all that pec tissue because scar tissue in there. So I worked on all that scar tissue. I worked on everything in here. And today, man, my shoulder feels amazing. But also I worked my chest out yesterday too. And doing incline dumbbell press, I could feel the sharp pain at the top of the press. So I didn't go all the way to lockout. And I kind of stayed a little bit lower where it didn't hurt me. I felt pressure and discomfort, but I never felt pain. So I was able to get my full workout in and did everything I was supposed to do. It's just kept the weight slider and then didn't do all the fun, crazy stuff I normally do. So looks like it's healing up just fine and it's going to be okay. I'm not going to have to go to the doctor. I'm not going to have to get it checked. Honestly, not that I probably would have gone anyways. I just would have continued to work around it, because if I start having an issue with something, my knee, my hip, my elbow, my shoulder, and there's a certain movement or range of motion that bothers it, I just stop doing that movement and that range of motion. I change out to something more comfortable that still targets the same exact area, the same movement, and allows me to train with the same amount of intensity, just a different range of motion, a different plane of motion. Because I'm not trying to work through pain, I'll just go around it and find an alternate way to avoid having any kind of discomfort that prevents me from training the way I want to actually train. So that's what the plan was. After this week and or possibly next week, if I decide to take another easy week in the gym, to start finding alternates to movements that are causing discomfort in the joint while I work on mobility, stretching, and deep tissue to heal the problem, which I'm not really sure where it's coming from because I've been chasing it. Front of the shoulder and the delt, rear shoulder, like the rear delt, along the outside of the scapula, inside the scapula, bottom of the scapula, top of the scapula, trap, pec, along the collarbone, the pec minor, going down to the pec major, right in the incision of my scar from surgery. So like there's been a lot of knotted up tissue all over, and I've been chasing it. One day it's here, one day it's there, next day it's here, next day it's there. So I'm not really sure where it's coming from, but I've been chasing it down, and every time I get an area to relax and feel good, another area pops up. But now, this morning, it just feels great. So I'm super optimistic. I'm super happy. I'm excited for things to get back to normal, where I can train the way I like to train. Also, working the job that I work, having to move my arm and move my shoulder all day, every day, prevents me from letting it sit there idly. Prevents me from sitting there idle and not using it, which is the worst thing you could do, is not move it. You want to get as much blood as you can in the area. You really do, as often as you can, because blood will heal you faster. After people have hip surgery, they make them get up and walk, and they make them do squats in a chair, like box squats, because they want you to move. They want to get blood in the area. It helps heal. It helps mend, right? It helps you recover. Like, you need to get blood in the area. So that's what I've always done anytime I've ever had any issues. I just work around it, not through it, and find ways to help recover faster. I don't sit on, not that this is an injury, but I don't sit on injuries. And if I get hurt or impingement or something happens, I don't sit there boo-hooing and waiting for it to stop hurting and just start taking a bunch of pills. I don't take painkillers. I don't take ibuprofen, anti-inflammatories. I don't take anything like that. So my mindset is, okay, if it's hurting, it's because something's wrong. It's not because of any particular reason that a painkiller is going to magically fix. There's a problem, and that problem needs to be addressed. And until you address that problem, you're going to keep experiencing pain every time the pills wear off. So instead of masking the pain through drugs, let's find the problem, go through that intense pain, that very short-lived pain, because it is very short-lived. It hurts like hell. Doing tissue work and mobility work whenever you're hurting, it's 10 times more painful than what the actual pain is. But that pain you go through helps recover, heal, and set things right where you don't need pills. And then you recover 10 times faster. And that's what I'm doing. Fast and speedy recovery. Just have to keep moving forward one day at a time. And I'm thinking that my body isn't burning as much glucose this week because of the way that I'm training. So I'm holding on to more weight. And that's why my body weight's up. I haven't really looked at myself this week either, just because, well, I haven't. So I can't really tell you how I'm looking as far as it goes for what the scale is doing, but I know I'm not putting on fat. It's virtually impossible with the calories that I'm eating, that I've been losing weight, and the amount of cardio I do. It's just not going to happen. It's just not. So just sodium and glucose in the muscles. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and finish my walk. I think I might have touched on everything I wanted to talk about on this one. And yeah, see you guys here in just a second. It's that time of day again. Guess what meal it is? 3, 2, 1. Oh, chicken and rice. Last meal of the workday. There we are. It's my favorite meal of the day. It's my most enjoyable one. So it's leg night, but I'm going to see how leg night goes tonight because my shoulder, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do deadlifts or not. So I'm just going to do what I can do because I don't know if that pull is going to affect me. And I'm just going to take it from there. I might even just take it easy tonight in general because that's kind of been the census. So instead of doing so many sets and reps, I think I might just cut down my 50%, maybe do 3 sets of each movement for maybe like 10 to 12, and then call it at that, go on my walk. I'll see how I feel. I know we have to go do some some Christmas shopping tonight, and we got a lot of stuff going on this weekend, not making excuses, not trying to get out the gym, but since I've been cutting everything back, probably wouldn't be a bad idea to cut back on my legs too, give my knees and my hips a little bit of a break. And that way next week, if I'm able to ramp back up, I ramp back up full force. And I know next week is Christmas, but it's like, oh well, you know what? Holiday or not, still gonna get it in. I'm doing what I have to do when the time comes, regardless of what the day of the month of the year is. I'm just gonna make it happen. Well, I didn't feel like recording my gym session tonight because all I did was lunges. I figured if I was changing up everything else this week on my reps and sets, I figured let's do something different on the legs. So I went ahead and just stayed outside and did a bunch of lunges. Didn't feel like getting my mic, didn't feel like getting a tripod. I just put some music on and I just did a ton of lunges. I'm probably gonna regret it tomorrow and be crazy sore, but you know what? That's okay, because I feel like my legs are pretty freaking beat up just from simply doing lunges, and that's gonna be good enough for today. All right, I'm going to walk. Sometimes simplicity is king, because I have to tell you, my legs feel like jello right now just from doing those lunges. And it's so funny how just simply changing up to one exercise and just going back to back to back to back to back, how fast you could get done working out, especially when you only do like 12 sets. And man, the reps drop, right? It's like, okay, 40 lunges, 32 lunges, 24 lunges, 18 lunges, 14 lunges, 8 lunges, 8 lunges, 6 lunges. So it's amazing how fast the amount you can do drops. Now, granted, I wasn't resting very long between sets, so that's probably has a big factor to do with it, but it was fun. I enjoyed it. like I said earlier, probably going to regret it tomorrow and the next day because my legs are probably going to hurt real bad. But it's good changing up things sometimes so you're sore, doing something different. And if nothing else, just to kind of break that routine and that routine fatigue as well too when you start dreading something. Next week, my shoulder does feel like it's getting better. It feels like I should be on the mend come Monday. So things should go back to normal, hopefully. And then I know I talk about like trying something different, like doing the first exercise for rest pause for 2 weeks, and then doing the next 2 weeks for the first 2 exercises, and then 2 weeks for all 3, whatever. I don't know if I'm going to do that. I like training the way I train instinctively. Like I like just getting in there, and if I feel like changing out of exercise, I do it. If I feel like changing up rep range, I do it. If I feel like changing up the amount of volume I do, I change it. If I feel like adding extra drops or extra rest, if I feel like only doing it for 1 movement or 2 movements or all the movements, I just enjoy having the freedom to move things around where I want them, when I want them, to keep me from getting bored of the routine. And to be honest, doing the lunges tonight kind of really made me realize that I might be bored of my leg routine as well. So I might be changing up my leg routine, the order of things and the way that I'm doing them. I just don't want my stuff to get stagnant. I don't want to get bored. I don't want to get in a rut. So I think I might be changing up the way I do my legs a little bit. I know I was wanting to do like 5 sets of 20 on the belts for 405, which still would be amazing to get back to like I used to. But I think I'm going to change it up. I think I'm going to do something a little bit different for my legs and approach it slightly different. Just because, like I said, it's just getting stagnant. Doing high volume over and over and over again just becomes boring. Doing high intensity over and over and over again becomes boring. So I just need some variety. I need to have some way to change things up on the fly, but still not feel like I'm going backwards or losing progress. Okay, that's going to be it for this video. I'm going to go put the camera down. My arm's getting tired. I'll see you guys in the next one.